Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Studio Ghibli Month here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm checking out a film from 1992. That movie is Porco Rosso. And, I really don't know a lot about the plot of this one outside of what I sort of skimmed off of the back. Apparently, our main character is a World War I flying ace whose head, for whatever reason, gets turned into a pig head. I don't totally know why. It really doesn't explain back here. That's all I really know. And there's something back here about pirates and, it's really kind of sketchy and vague what they've got on the back here. The only other thing I know is the cast, because of course Disney likes to smear that across the top of every one of these things. And as much as I'd love to say that that fills me with hope, the cast from Tales from Earthsea also filled me with hope, and none of them bothered to fucking try in that movie. I'm at least hoping for the cast to try here. I'm hoping for the story to be halfway decent. The only way I'm going to find out if any of that happens is if I shut up and I push play, and I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Porco Rosso. I will say, guys, that the writing in this is absolutely hilarious. I'm fucking loving how everything here is, written. I'm certainly hoping that the movie is able to maintain this level of sharp, biting wit. I really do hope so, and if it does, this movie's gonna be fucking awesome. Alright, I have kind of a stupid question. So, Porco's a wanted man in fucking Italy, and the secret police know that he's there. He can't even really hide because he has the pig face. Why haven't they arrested him yet? If the secret police know that he's in the country, they probably know approximately where he is, they probably know exactly where he's staying. Why the hell haven't they just picked him up yet and, been done, with it? I understand that doing so would then render us with no fucking film, but realistically, you'd think that they would have picked him up by now. Again, it's a real trivial thing. Probably no one else would ever have picked up or noticed it, but I noticed it and it kind of bothers me a little bit. I find it really funny that Theo is trying to talk honor to pirates. They're fucking pirates! There is no honor among pirates! Actually makes this whole speech even fucking funnier. The very fact that the pirates are actually kind of falling for it, that makes it even better. I swear, guys, this movie's fucking awesome. I'm loving it. So, wait a minute, wait. So, the pirates turn this big final fight between Curtis and Porco into a spectator sport, and with only about 24 hours notice, they have amassed a colossal crowd. Fucking awesome, dude. Really fucking is. Hell yeah. Well, guys, that was Porco Rosso. Let me shut that off. Okay. So, I really don't think I can hide it too well. I really had a lot of fun with this movie. I think out of all the films I've seen from Hayao Miyazaki, this is certainly one of his, better ones. I'm not totally sure if I'd say it's better. I'm not sure if I'd say it's better than fucking Castle in the Sky, but it is definitely a fun movie. I certainly had a lot of fun with it. Now let's try to discuss why. Writing. One thing that always sort of bothers me about a whole lot of these Studio Ghibli films, at least the ones I've watched for this month, is most of them are set during some weird nebulous time fucking period, and you really can't nail it fucking down because they're too busy trying to be all fantasy, or they're trying to be all steampunk, or they're trying to be all whatever the fuck. This movie, on the other hand, is very clearly set after World War I and before World War II, so it is within that window of time. So we get to see, and this really does help the film, because now we get to see all these awesome World War I era sea, planes. And they are absolutely beautiful. And it really does help set the mood, and it really does give us a fantastic setting for our story to be set in. This, and of course, everything else is also sort of helped by the fact that we have characters who are incredibly likable, characters who are ultra memorable. Every single character in this film who has to speak are honest to God likable. Guys, I have seen a lot of movies where you watch it and there's normally like a couple of characters, even if they're just little fucking like ancillary background characters who kind of suck. Here, every single character is going to put a smile on your face because they are that well written. You are going to care about every single character here. Now this is also a comedy, which is a little bit odd considering almost no other film I've covered this month has been like a straight up comedy. That is exactly what this is. And the humor here is incredible. I think honestly the moment I kind of knew that the humor was, you know, my kind of humor, real nice, subtle humor, is when the fucking coalition of sky, you know, pirates are messaging each other by little fucking like messenger light, and they're arguing over who covers damages after they go. I mean, as they're getting ready to loot a fucking like cruise ship. Was absolutely funny as hell as they're just shooting all these messages like back and forth and they're bickering, and it's just real funny stuff. And that humor like carries for the entire film. There is not a single misfired joke in this film, which is honestly kind of sort of a miracle because even really good comedies usually have at least one or two jokes that fall kind of flat. Here, the whole thing is just going to keep you fucking smiling because it is that well written. Not only is everything well, you know, written, but our cast is just dynamite in this movie. Michael Keaton, I will say, because Michael Keaton plays our title character, he plays Porco, and at the very start of the film, it almost sounds like Keaton just is sort of phoning it in and just, you know, doesn't care. He sounds incredibly bored for the first like 10 minutes of the film, and then he slowly gets more and more personality. He actually seems to care more and more as the film goes on. And that's awesome. And by the end of the movie, you're going to be absolutely in love with his character because he is just such a fucking lovable dickhead, and Keaton plays it beautifully. The one that kind of surprised me is Cary Elwes. Cary Elwes, who in almost every film I've seen plays painfully British human beings, plays fucking Curtis. Yeah, I had to look up the cast list real quick here. And Curtis is from Texas. So we have Cary Elwes putting on this really cheesy fucking Texas accent, and it works. It works incredibly well. And at least the way that Keaton and Elwes are able to sort of like play off of each other in the scenes that the two of them have, it is absolutely amazing. I would not be at all shocked if those two were in the fucking booth together. It sounds that natural. It sounds that awesome. And the rest of our cast just turns in a stellar show. I absolutely loved how everybody worked in this movie. I'm gonna tell you guys, out of all the movies I've watched this month, this one I can certainly say has the best acting, which is fantastic. This movie is just that good in terms of acting. Animation. I'm very happy to say that while I've bitched about the laziness of Studio Ghibli in terms of character faces and how they've only got about 4 or 5 faces that they use per film, this movie seems to actually kind of sort of skip that. There are a lot of very, very unique faces across the whole thing. I guess maybe it's because their title character is a fucking pig. I guess that meant that they wanted to sort of go all out and make sure all the characters' faces actually look kind of different. Which, considering the fact that they did that in 1992 and they haven't been able to do that since, that's kind of sort of startling. But still, I am going to totally give them mountains and mountains of credit for actually making every character look unique and different. So there is that. And of course, when it comes to the studio, naturally, you almost always have to expect beautiful settings and scenery and everything else. What I really loved is all of the beautiful detail that went into all of the seaplanes you see in this film. You see all these World War I era planes, and they all look fucking gorgeous. And there's a whole lot of detail in everything from rivet work to paint, and it all just looks breathtaking on screen. So we not only have the awesome looking planes, and we have a cast of characters who actually look different from each other. Shocker of shockers for this studio. And naturally all of our like cityscapes and our mountainsides and our like fields, all of that looks fucking beautiful, because that's what Studio Ghibli does best. Except apparently with Tales from fucking Earthsea, but I'm not talking about that piece of shit today. I'm actually talking about something good, so yay. Anyway, soundtrack, or rather the score. There really isn't a whole lot of score here, at least not much that's really like noticeable. What is here though is definitely fitting and very cool sounding, and it definitely helps enhance the mood of the film. So that is totally awesome. Is there anything else I can really talk about? Our sound mix here is really solid. Our color work here is really good. Mind you, I was watching the DVD. The colors will probably pop out even more if I pop in the Blu-ray. I'm almost guaranteed to do that, because am I able to recommend Porco Rosso? Oh, fuck yes. I had no idea I was in for a comedy, because when it says like nebulously on the back about how Porco has this curse that gives him a pig head, I was then reminded of Howl's Moving Castle and how absolutely shit they handled curses there. Here it's just mentioned that it's a curse, but they don't really play into it much. There is one possible attempt at trying to explain what caused the curse, but even then that really isn't like a surefire thing, and it was very interesting. So at least they had a curse in here. They mentioned it, but they really didn't play up on it, which is totally fine. I loved it. This thing wanted to focus on comedy, and goddammit, it benefits because of that. And because of that, guys, yes, I can absolutely recommend Porco Rosso. This movie is absolutely hilarious. I will say it is the funniest thing I have seen from Studio Ghibli, but then again, that's because this, as far as I can tell, is the only time they actually tried to do a straight-up fucking comedy. So, there, perfect. If you want to know exactly what Studio Ghibli would do if they were doing a straight, full-blown comedy, bingo, and it works so fucking well. I totally recommend this thing. This sucker is going to have a happy spot on my Blu-ray shelf. Oh man, this thing was just that good. Now, Porco Rosso came off the Amazon wishlist. The person who sent it in was my friend Stu. You can find his YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/thevodkahaze. Please, guys, swing over there and check out everything that Stu has. Dude, I thank you. I was curious about this one. I actually was more curious about this one than I was any other film this month, and I think maybe it's because the premise was just so vastly different from everything else I'd seen all month. And I finally had my chance to see it, and that is thanks to you. You're fucking awesome, dude. I thank you. Once more, guys, that is youtube.com/user/thevodkahaze. Now, I would just like to say that I'm very happy I'm finally past this month, because barring scant few exceptions, the rest of the movies this month have felt incredibly samey and kind of sort of dull, and even honestly the ones I can totally like wholeheartedly fucking like recommend, even those feel kind of samey and tired and boring. And maybe honestly it's because these sorts of things are not my thing totally, but hey, you know what, plus side is at least I found 5 movies out of this month. Let's see, Castle in the Sky, The Cat Returns, Kiki, Pompoko, and Porco Rosso. Yeah, 5. So that's 5 out of 9. That honestly is not too bad. Unfortunately, the 4 of them that sucked, oh dear fuck, when they suck, they really fucking sucked. But hey, you know what? At least I was willing to give this studio a chance for a month. At least I got 5 really good movies out of it. So I am happy about that. But now I'm kind of happy that I get to go back to what the series usually covers, which is cheesy fucking horror movies and box office bombs and fucking ponies. Jesus Christ, I have to cover those next month. God damn it. Don't ask, guys. Just wait for next month. Anyway, now that I finished up with Studio Ghibli month, I kind of feel like I need to go watch something rather violent, gory, and blood-filled. I think I'm gonna go watch Reanimator. Perfect. Reanimator's always a fun movie. So I'm gonna go and watch that, and that is gonna do it for this installment of Reaction and Review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.